Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about how to reduce flake rate, especially with appointment setting. This is a common problem that a lot of setters face. Even I face it from a day-to-day basis. It's unavoidable, as you can probably see. It's unavoidable, happens to everyone, including me, right? But what we can do is we can make an effort to reduce it. So I'll show you some ways how to do that, and hopefully you find this valuable. So if you're a setter, make sure you lock in, you tune in, actually implement the stuff in this video. I'm gonna drop some source. If you are a business owner and you have a setter under you, or you have a team of setters under you, send that to them and just let them absorb the training and then implement it, okay? Because that's gonna squeeze a lot of the juice out of every last bit of these that you're getting. And yeah, it's all about optimizing here. So if you are, and before we get started, if you are in corporate sales and you're finally looking to transition into remote sales, high ticket, start getting really good at the skill that you've already kind of cultivated, but just start earning more commission, start doing it remotely so you can have that freedom. You enjoy that freedom of working while on your laptop, anywhere you want, in the hours that you want, okay? All that good stuff. You probably know it already. Link in the description to apply for the Renaissance Closer program. We'll hop on a call and we'll see if you're a good fit, okay? So anyways, reducing flake rate pretty much. First things first, and this is not ranked in importance. In terms of importance, they're all just as important as each other. But the first thing that came to mind when typing this out, and the first thing I want to preface this by saying, remember, appointment setting, or sales in general, appointment setting is just a condensed sales call. That's all it is. It's just a sales call. It's the same sort of sales process as you would on a sales call before they actually hop on the call itself. But this time, you're taking them down the conveyor belt, you're asking the important questions so that you get them to book in a call, okay? You have that leverage, you make them want to book in a call. When you're in sales, when you're closing, you have that leverage, you're making them want to, close as a client, okay? Same thing, but with booking a meeting. As a setter, that's simply your job. Your job is not to try and close them, except in certain circumstances. But you want to think about it this way, okay? So let's say this is you're just moving them down the conveyor belt, A to B, B being the booked call, A being like the starting point wherever they're at, and then C, W, and H, that stands for cold, warm, and hot leads. So obviously, if they're more towards this end, if they're more cold, the process is going to take a bit longer. And compared to if they were, warm leads or hot leads being like they're ready to go, then just book them in right then and there. Don't waste any time. So once you got that out of the way, once you've internalized that, it's really simple. But a couple things that might be causing your high flake rate: you dragged out the convo for too long. So it's like a happy medium. So you don't want to just be too robotic. You don't want to just set too quickly just then and there, because people don't like being sold to. People love to buy, but people don't like being sold to. So when you're trying to when you're being too desperate, when you're being too, what's the word? You're being too, you want to hop on that, you want to book them in as soon as possible, but too fast, then that's not good, obviously. But if you drag out the convo for too long, then you're just wasting everybody's time. It's not pointed, it's not going in any intention or direction. So if you drag out the convo for too long, then the prospect will, they'll become quickly uninterested and just move on with their life, okay? Remember, these are real people. You don't want to take too long, you want to be too short, but you don't want to take too long, because these guys have lives too. So you drag out the convo for too long. I don't know if you probably experienced that too. It's like you're asking a bunch of questions, you're trying to do your little appointment setting process. Maybe you're following my framework, link in the description, freebie, appointment setting manifesto. You're dragging out the convo for too long, and then it's just leading to nowhere. And then now they're not responding back to your messages. So that's probably the first thing. Second thing is not enough volume. So as I said, flaking is unavoidable, but we can make an effort to reduce it. So if you reach out to 10 people, the chances of people flaking are probably like half of them, 5, 6 of them, right? But if you just broaden the amount of people that you're reaching out to, broaden the volume, if you just hit up more people, let's say 50 or 60 or 70, not only would that percentage go down just naturally, you'd also be getting reps in. And what does reps lead to? Reps leads to you getting better. Reps leads to you improving at your skill, because obviously that's how you get better at any skill, right? So, and the more reps you put in, the better you're gonna get, and then the flake rate is naturally gonna go down. Like for example, if I were to like 10 people, if I reached out to 10 people, 5 of them would probably flake. 200 people, just from reference experience, from doing this so many times, it would not be 100, it would more be like on the lower end, like 30, 40, maybe even 50, all right? And that's, people are still flaking you, however, it's a much lower percentage. So crank up the volume, very easy solution there. Not enough leverage, this is a big one. So I know I talked earlier about, dragging out the convo for too long, but this is more about leverage now. So if you don't know what leverage is, it's basically think of it as ammo, like ammo for a gun, right? Before you try and book in the call, and again, all this stuff we'll teach you inside the program with appointment setting. All that stuff is also in my free guide down below. If you haven't copped that already, link is in the description. Okay, it's free. But leverage basically is like ammo, because before you're trying to book them in for the meeting, you're trying to find reasons for them to hop on the call in the first place. Most people are lazy, most people are busy, so if you don't give them a good fucking reason to hop on a call and devote 30, 60, I don't know, even just 30 minutes of their day to speak to someone online who they've never met before, then they're never gonna hop on the call. So you need to apply leverage. So what are the biggest pieces of leverage? Pain, desire, and time, and both obviously, so that's like 4 technically. But if in your convos you are not figuring out what their pain points are, what their desires are, and time is a bonus too, but I'd apply that too, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But the main two, pain and desires, simple sales. If you're not in enough pain, if you're not in enough desire, that's not enough of a reason for them to get moving, to take action, to aka hop on a call, all right? So let's say you're setting and you're not asking the questions like that draw out the pain, and it's going to depend. I'm not going to give examples because I don't know what niche you're in. It's going to depend on niche to niche. What are your niche's pain points? What do prospects typically struggle with, right? What does your audience typically want in the next 6 to 12 months? What are their goals, right? You'd know that best. So if you're not asking questions or getting them to tell you what they are, then why would they hop on a call, right? They're just having a convo, but you're not giving a good reason for them to take action. So make sure you draw out more leverage. The more painful, the better, or the more desirable their goals are, the better, right? And if you can do both, that'd be amazing. So now you made that gap extremely big, and they want to take more action. In terms of time, what I meant by that was, so if you ask questions like, oh, okay, like, makes sense. How long has that been the problem for? Or how long has that been the case for? Or how long have you been working there for? Or how long has this been the goal for? Or those kind of questions, very simple. If you just sprinkle that in, that really helps, because time is an amplifier. So if someone is in pain, but person B has been in pain for longer than person A, of course person B is going to be in more pain, right? It's very simple. And then vice versa. I don't need to explain to you. So if you sprinkle in some sort of time leverage as well, if you feel like you've almost got them over the edge, sprinkle in some time leverage, and then you'll be good. And then pitch them the call. Go ahead. Don't waste any time. Your profile sucks, or the business owner, in fact, the business, because you are setting, right? You're setting for the business owner, especially if it's inbound or sometimes even outbound. The profile sucks. All right. So if I tell this to people all the time, like if the offer that you're on, if the business owner is not posting content consistently on a platform, if they're not building their brand to some sort, that's less desirable compared to the business owner who is, right? And it's pretty much because content allows for more traffic, allows for more attention, but also allows for leads to be nurtured, to be warmer, okay? And all of those things work in tandem to make appointment setting easier, to help everyone make more money, pretty much, or book more meetings, right? So if they're not posting content, or if their profile sucks, then it's just gonna be an uphill battle, right? So if you're in an offer where all it is cold outbound, just pure numbers, you may as well just hand it off to a VA and automate that, right? What's the point of you doing it? Yeah, maybe in the beginning, you don't have that much room to be as picky, right? And I suggest you pick up that reference experience, because everyone goes through it. I've had to do that as well, right? But as you progress further on, you want to be more mindful of your time. You want to be more mindful of the offer that you're on, especially the earning potential. So the basic, the prerequisite for a successful offer, right, is if the lead flow is there, if the lead flow is actually cranking, And then what's like the main thing to keep lead flow cranking is content. Posting consistently, posting on TikTok, posting on Instagram, whatever. Instagram Reels, link, I don't care. They just have to be posting content, make sure their profile is optimized. If not, then it's just gonna be an uphill battle. You know, it's gonna be no fun, right? Little to no urgency. So this kind of ties back into not enough leverage. Obviously, the more leverage you build, the more urgency you're going to be applying naturally, right? Excuse me, as I said, people who are in pain are going to want to take action now compared to later. People who have desires and you can help them, you can show how you can help them reach them, and they believe it's possible, of course they're going to be in much more urgency, okay? But what I mean by this is, it's a very specific scenario, but I might make a YouTube video just for this, because it's going to be source, right? When you drop the booking link, listen carefully. When you drop the booking link, when they're about to book, put something directly at the end or directly after, saying something like, okay, go ahead, pop in the time in the next couple of minutes, just so we can confirm your slot and lock it in, right? Something as simple as that, and come up with your own, but something as simple as that, if you send that every time you send the booking link, the chances of people actually following through and booking in will skyrocket, as opposed to you not sending that. Because now you've applied urgency, and you've applied good urgency. It's like, okay, if you're booking in now, we'll make sure to confirm your slot. And then the prospect will be like, okay, cool, fair enough, we'll do it. Or if you say something like, look, I'm only gonna be on my phone next 5 to 10 minutes. If you can just lock in a slot, we'll make sure it's come through on our end, and then we'll get you ready. Something like that makes all the difference. I do that all the time. So if you can start doing that every single time after you send the link, then watch the results. Watch the results. So that's some sauce for you. Because most setters don't actually do that. They just send the link. And then the last thing is, the questions aren't easy to answer, / rings alarm bells, / it doesn't make sense. So what I mean by that is, what I found lately is people are more likely to keep a conversation, respond back to you if the questions, if you're very easy to talk to, right? This is just human nature. If you have that friend, if you know that one person, you're just very easy to talk to. Why are they easy to talk to? Because it doesn't require much thought on your end to conversate with them, okay? So with appointment setting, people be asking like the toughest questions, and it's just like, and again, remember, people's attention spans are at an all-time low. So if you're asking very complicated to answer questions, people are going to look at it for 1 second, or if they see one long big paragraph from you, they're going to jump straight away, all right? It's going to scare them off. So if you just become very easy to talk to, you ask questions that are easy to answer. What I mean by ringing alarm bells is basically like ringing red flags. Like they feel like they're going to be sold to. So if you're very easy to talk to as a setter or as a business owner, because you're playing as a business owner, if you don't come across as too salesy, but you're still direct, you're still there to help out, and then if your questions actually make sense, like they're actually pointed in a direction, you're not just asking questions for the sake of it. You're not asking about what breed their dog is, or what the weather is like in their location, right? It doesn't make sense. If you just do that, it's not a high bar to meet, then your flake rate will go down. You'll find, so that by the end of this video, by the end of you actually applying what's in this, in this video, you find that people are going to be sticking around longer in your conversations, and then you're going to get more to point B, where they actually follow through and actually book in a meeting, right? Why is that important? As I said, you're squeezing every last bit of juice out of the leads that you're getting, the lead flow that you're getting. And then this all ties back into, again, one of my points, profile not being very good. Your lead flow, like the lead flow is going to come from the profile and the content, right? You could do cold outbound, that's fine. Supplement it with that too if you need to. But ultimately, it is all about squeezing every last bit of juice out of the leads that you are getting. Like I said at the end here, flaking is unavoidable, but we can make an effort to reduce it, okay? So if you just apply a couple of these points or all of the points, you keep in mind next time that, hey, am I dragging out the convo for too long? Is the offer I'm on actually good? Is it good lead flow? Are they posting consistently, keeping the machine cranking? Am I applying enough leverage? Am I actually hitting the volume, all that good stuff? Then your flake rate will drastically go down. You'll find people be more committed to your appointment setting and then your sales process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out the links below. I'm gonna do a better job of promoting because a lot of people are asking, oh, do you sell a program? Do you sell mentorship? Yes, we got stuff for that. Okay, so link in the description, check it out. Also got a freebie down there if you haven't checked it out already. So check it out. Hopefully this helps. If you're a business owner, send this to your setting team. Send my whole YouTube videos to your setting team. And then yeah, let me know the results. You can hit me up on Instagram in the link below as well. You can hit me up there for any questions. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I won't drag it out for too long. And I'll see you in the next one.